Feeling a little bit rusty about your skills, or maybe you're a new pilot. After the first 50 or 100 hours, you won't be, and to be ready to take off on an adventure. And when we really started moving around, we started going to New Orleans for beignets and coffee, or over to Nashville to pick up fried chicken of all things. And the world just became smaller because flying in the airplane is about time travel and opening up the world to yourself. The first of those defining moments was really starting to be able to land the airplane again. As we looked through several landings and several of the stops here, this is where I'd gotten good enough to get in most any place as long as it wasn't gusting over 20. And having the confidence to travel at night. This is the RNAV approach coming back into hot springs with maybe about 1,500 foot ceilings. Thinking back 2 years ago when this started to get into that level of proficiency again, it's quite a journey. And we look for things, especially in our older age, that kind of give us relevance, passion, meaning in life, and just accomplishment. And that was sure one of them right there as the world opened up. And we started traveling to more and more places. And we had good judgment, but still, we were willing to push ourselves. Coming into John Tune here in Nashville, winds whipping off those mountains, gusting to probably around 20 knots, no problem. Giving yourself a big enough runway, I would tell you, is the other thing, because we're going to be a little bit left of center line, but nonetheless, we're going to get in here, proud to be on the ground, proud to open up the world to some adventures and start to live these adventures and memories with, like, my oldest son here. He's now in flight training. We're exiting John Tune right here. It's a little gusty, and we're going to get up and get out.
Over a little bit. We're going to come on up with the gear.
And we just kept progressing. We kept going into shorter runways here. We're going to take off on about 3,500 feet, maybe 3,000 feet even. Not a big deal. Obviously, landing on 3,000 feet is a little more complex than taking off on it, but our CRM and cockpit management had picked up, and you'll know you go, no go, maybe about halfway if you aren't off the ground to pull it. But most general aviation airplanes will fly in 2,000 feet. There you are at the 1,000 footers, and there you are in the air. There's 1,000 footers at the other end, and you're well on your way. But that confidence level, it just kept rising, and we kept going, and we kept building memories and having experiences together and getting to feel like you had a mastery of the aircraft. Doesn't mean that you don't have a healthy respect for everything, but those first 50 hours, and especially those first solo flights by myself, I remember lots of anxiety. I wouldn't say I was scared, but I was cautious. Just like anybody should be coming back, whether you're new or rusty. It just takes a little bit of going consistently. I've been off for about a year now while we're rebuilding this VTEL, and there'll be a little bit of a learning curve getting back in there.
All right, here we are, back on the Rusty Pilot. We're on our way out to McKinney, Texas to pick up my wife. She's been gone for a month to Indonesia. And it is roughly 5:19. We're on top of the clouds here. We had to climb out through a little bit to get up here. And then it'll be marginal VFR to VFR on the other end of this thing. It'll be the first real approach we shot at night in here by ourselves. So entertaining times, but
entertaining times it was. Wife had been gone for about a month back to Indonesia. And as we come on down, it's quite dark. There's a cloud layer sitting at maybe 1,200, 1,000 feet, something like that. punch out and get into McKinney. Here we are on final on the ILS. Had a little bit of a hard time finding that thing, but confidence level just through the roof at that point, feeling like you could go anywhere, do anything, use the plane for what it was intended to be, which was a way to quickly move around the planet and get things done. I remember shooting this approach and feeling a large sense of accomplishment that you could even get out and make it in from where we started, from just crawling to sprinting. But with enough time and enough reps and enough help, you two can get here. And I'm going to pick that journey right back up in this VTOL at about this point where I've got to go crawl, run, walk again. And I'm certainly excited to get back in and do it and have that community of pilots, a little bit bigger community of people out here in Dallas. So hang in there if you're, like me, a little bit old, a little bit rusty, or a little bit old and a little bit new. Know that it won't be long before you're cruising around to get your wife when she comes back from being a month away. If you made it this long, like and subscribe. I need the help. This thing's almost monetized. I'm not really trying to make money off of it, but would like it for just a personal satisfaction.